This is John for MTG Nexus coming at you with our first, hopefully, full stream in a while. Last time out, somebody in the house decided to start running the sweeper, so I kind of had to stop recording. But here we are with Rakdos Midrange, kind of the spiritual successor to Jund in the format at the moment, as Jund is kind of somewhat unplayable because of can't really adapt to what's going on in the format per se. This is a mid-range deck at its heart. You know, anything that's playing Liliana the Veil, generally pretty mid-rangey. You know, we cut out the green cards to be able to play Blood Moons in the main deck, which is kind of a nice way of hitting the 4-color Uro pile and so many other different things right now. Playing a lot of interaction, which is pretty good against decks like Hammer Time and Heliod Company. And also fairly good against the Prowess decks, although those decks play a lot of the same cards you do anymore, so it's kind of hard to see how that matchup's going to play out. But as a friendly reminder, if you do like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel and giving us a follow here on Twitch. So, what this deck is trying to achieve, much like the red-black Shadow deck, is you are a mid-range grindy deck, but without the abuse on your life total. Instead, you're relying a little bit more on mid-range threats like Seasoned Pyromancer, Bone Crusher Giant, Liliana, and to a certain extent Magmatic Channeler to kind of carry you across the finish line. You're using things like Inquisition and Thoughtseize to set up disrupting your opponent, using Fatal Push and Bolt and Dreadbore to kill their early plays, and then establishing board control with some type of threat like Kroxa, Liliana of the Veil, Bone Crusher Giant, etc., using Blood Moon to disrupt their mana, and then things like Magmatic Channeler and Kroxa to pull ahead on card advantage. Sideboard, kind of your rock-esque piles, a couple Nihil Spellbombs for any type of graveyard shenanigans, a couple Pithing Needles when you shut down annoying things like opposing Planeswalkers or such. Soul Guide Lanterns also pairing with Nihil Spellbombs for more targeted graveyard hate, third copy of Dreadbore when you need to kill random things, Planeswalkers or creatures, Dragon's Claw for any type of burner prowess snack, 2 Guns commands for any type of grindy affair, 2 copies of Boil because, well, blue decks are a thing, 1 Kalidas Trader of Get, once again pretty good against other mid-range decks and also pretty good against burn and prowess, and then 2 copies of Engineered Explosives because pseudo sweepers are sometimes a necessary evil. So for once I'm going to try out starting out a league. We'll see. I don't think I'm going to quite finish it tonight, but it's been a minute since we've done a league, so what a quarter it's been for us Magic-wise, huh? So, I think the last league I did was a league off camera with 4-color Uro. So we'll see how that goes. That will be a video coming out here sometime, hopefully in the next couple of days on the YouTube channel. I've got to actually record the matches because I was kind of sick when I played them, so I just played the matches, didn't really record them. It was a weird league, to put it nicely. I'm not sure what's happened since the calendar turned over, but there's been a lot of interesting decks popping up. Teamer Breach, I've seen some people trying to play Kiki Combo, all kinds of weird things going on in the format right now. Alright. Apparently our opponent was too scared of our awesomeness. But I've been a bit under the weather. I've been missing some work, so haven't been able to do much in the way of content the last several days. I have quite a few more Versus videos to get out. I've got 4-color Omnath versus Burn from the 4-color Omnath side. I've got Devoted or Heliod combo versus Burn to get out. Both sides of that perspective. What the heck? And then the league with 4-color Omnath. Got a Hammer Time video out the other day. That was an interesting deck to play a little bit. I still don't feel confident in my ability to pilot that deck, but it was an interesting one to play against a bunch of removal heavy decks to play with. we got. I mean, 4 lands isn't ideal, but our mana is perfectly set up. We have Inquisition into Bone Crusher into Liliana potentially. So up against some type of zoo pile. Nakatl, Bone Crusher. Take Bone Crusher. Bone Crusher the first one, Liliana the second one. Kroxa. I still think we have to stay ahead on board here. Why would they play a land we didn't know about? That seems... Alright, that makes a little more sense, I suppose. Makes Liliana a little bit worse. Don't really want a Pyro. Do I want a Pyro here? Pitching Kroxa and a land. So if they draw a land, we can't kill their stupid thing regardless. We still know... They still have 2 lands in hand, don't they? They still have Wooded Foothills, and they still have... Beating... I guess if we Blood Moon, we actually stop ourselves from casting... Whatchamacallit? Actually a tough play right now. So, Inquisition will miss because their hand's Bloodbraid Elf and 2 lands. Could Blood Moon, but we cut ourselves off of black mana. We'd cut them off of every other color mana. Which doesn't matter in the face of many Progenitus there. And then them Blood Breeding means we can't Liliana very effectively. It's really annoying. We may not be able to kill many Progenitus over there. See if they respect Blood Moon at all here. Not really. How does that work with Cascade exactly? I honestly don't know how to get out of this situation right now. Oh, that's just dumb. I just hope they're dumb enough to attack with Nakatl here. That was the only way we were getting back in this game. Three minutes, absurd. So it's probably a land or a blank, but I do want to know what's going on over there. How have you been, by the way, Tavern? Alright, so we're up against Zoo. Feels like we want engineered explosives. Could be really reactionary and bringing pithing needles to stop whatchamacallit, but I think that's just too cute. Kolaghan's command could potentially be okay, but I do think it's a little bit slow and clunky. Kalitas, however you want to pronounce it. Cards that aren't good. Croxa is probably a little slow against them. Probably shave a couple Thought Seizes, although Bloodbraid Elf is admittedly pretty annoying. Like I said, we got extremely lucky our opponent was a bit dumb there. Poured out one Blood Moon on the draw. Inquisition, Fatal Push, Inquisition, sure. Relic. Yep. Can we give a shout out to the Relic of Progenitus Tarmogoyf deck? Can we give a shout out to the Relic of Progenitus Tarmogoyf deck? Now this is some quality deck building right here. I don't think our hand cares about relics, so either take Bolt or Tarmogoyf here. Probably Bolt. Like, I really shouldn't laugh at my opponent's They drew another Bolt. Sure. I think I should have main phase pushed that in case they brought in Veil or something. Sure, crack first relic. Sure. To be fair, this format's been okay. So I don't know what's happened since January 1, but there's been a lot of stuff coming out of the woodwork. I've been watching a lot of streams and stuff lately, a lot of YouTube content because I've been sick for the last week plus. I've seen Kiki combo coming out of the woodwork. I've seen Rug Scape Shift. I've seen Burn. I've seen a lot of things, James. A lot of things that should no longer exist in this format, but people were like, screw it. Is that their third Bolt? Well. That is indeed our opponent's third Lightning Bolt. They reveal Embercleave? Wowzers. Go ahead. Opponent's relics doing work. Cool, Spellbreaker, sure. EE looking kind of meh here. Kalidas doing Kalidas things. And scoop them up. So yeah, I've been seeing a lot of really weird stuff popping up since the new year. I'm not sure if people are just like, this format's gotten stale and solved, so let's bring back some old time crap. But yeah, I've definitely seen some interesting stuff. Amulet's been making a comeback, although I partially blame that on Fran. Played that I think twice during my 4-color Omnath League. Alright, so I think we keep this hand. We're on the play. Yeah, keep. A little bit awkward with the mana with Spyro here, but this is the comeback. This is the moment. I feel it can't hold us. So I'm gonna guess prowess. Oh, now we get to remove all doubts. Oh. Alrighty then. I think we take Unsettled Mariner. Play that and pass. Really do think our opponent missed a golden opportunity here to... I think they honestly should have played the Glasspool Shores. Just going to pitch the Swamp here. Obviously, they get to pressure our Liliana a little bit. They pitch one of the Spell Callers. That's interesting. Opponent looks like they're at least respecting Blood Moon. Well, the funny part is I don't know that... Like, I've played a good bit of 4-color Uro Omnath now. And... Shacklegast. Curious which one they sack here. Gonna lose our Liliana here, which is fine. Like, I honestly, I understand the bitching about Field of the Dead and Uro and Omnath and all that stuff, and I'm not saying some of it isn't valid. I just honestly don't... cast a Croxa here. Like, honestly, I think the format's largely adapted to the deck. What are they playing here? You have Path? I would love if you were to Path me. Discard the other Spell Queller. I think this was just... But there's been... Like, people said the format was solved, and yet we've seen... we've seen this deck pop up. We've seen... well, I guess we get Skyclave Apparition out of there. Like, there's been a lot of decks that have popped up, or rebirths of decks that have come back, like Amulet being rebuilt again. Do I honestly care at this point? I think I just attack for 6, close out this game. Like, I could play with my food, but I don't think it's probably a wise idea. Alright, so our opponent didn't look like they actually have that many islands, so bringing in, like, automatically bringing in Boyle just seems foolish. EE seems alright. K-Command seems like it might be alright. Dreadmore might be alright. Kalitas would be good, but Kalitas really gets stymied by whatchamacallit really easily. And despite how good it was that game, I don't think Blood Moon on the draw is going to be particularly exciting. Probably shave a Croxa, because they're going to be attacking us on the graveyard angle. Probably shave some amount of discard. And then go like that. 1-0 so far. We played against Naya Zoo, and now we're up a game against Blue-White Spirits. 1 lander, can't keep. How many lands is this deck playing? 22? Feels like 22 might be a little on the light side. I think we keep this and pitch... What am I pitching here? Spyro? I feel like it's either Spyro or EE here. Maybe Blood Moon. I'm gonna go Spyro. Play that out preemptively. Hopefully they don't have Unsettled Mariner on too. Should really kind of punish us. Oh, just good old Selfless Spirit. This is where discard spells on the draw can be a little bit awkward. Just going to take this 3 on the chin and like it. Yeah, I don't care about that. So Blood Moon's kind of eh. Let's say that would draw out a spell queller if they had one. Now we're just going to hold up Bolt here. This does shut off Liliana. Is there any other card in their deck that this shut off? Croxa on the back end, I suppose. Well, Captain's annoying. It's actually very annoying. So I have no current way to trigger Revolt. So we're probably dead. Sure. Not going to show them Dreadbore. Not that it wouldn't be on the radar, but if it isn't, I don't want it to be. Again, they're not playing that many islands, so Boyle's kind of a waste. Kalitas, once again, could be reasonable in some spots, but a 4-drop against a Spell Queller deck seems like an unnecessary gamble. We have our version of Thoughtseize and Tarmogoyf in this deck. Go ahead and fetch Swamp and Inquisition them. Let's see. Mausoleum Wanderer. Ether Vial. So Ether Vial is extremely annoying, don't get me wrong. I think we just want to concentrate on their threats. Because they're already going to be pretty well insulated against Blood Moon. Get a island here. It's a pretty good one. So apparently they're not going to be lacking for lands. I know this is throwing away the Bone Crusher portion of the card, but I just really want to get that off the board. 4/4. Well, I mean, we're good against creature decks. I really don't know much else to say. Actually, I'll be right back in 1 second. So how's everyone doing tonight? It's been a minute since we've had a full-blown stream going here. Hope all is well. Those of you checking this out on YouTube later. This is the second league I've played since I've come back to Magic Online. I think one of the things when I stepped away, I just realized that I can't just like play my pet decks anymore. I actually have to branch out and start playing the good decks. You know, sad to say, Burn's not really a good deck at the moment, but not to say we won't play it again, just saying it's not particularly well positioned at the moment. Mana Symbol. Interesting screen name. Against a Luris deck, so probably Burner Shadow. I guess hand's fine in that matchup. Oh, Mill. Okay. I'm not sure how we're actually positioned against Mill, but, you know, we start by killing the crabs. I think the one problem this deck has is closing speed, so we'll see if that comes back to get us at all. Yep, Mesmeric Orb. So mana efficiency wise, Croxa would be the best thing here. This feels like it's probably not a very good matchup. Blood Chief's Thirst, sure. It's got a crab. Do they have a land to go with it? They do. Land, please. We are milling quite a few lands. Well, I was kind of hoping to rip a land there, then we could Blood Moon them and I feel like they're sitting on like Archive Trap and nonsense. Yep, we're about to get archive trapped. What's up, Kenson? Kenson, how have you been? Going alright, I guess. Archive trap. Archive trap. Archive trap. Does whatever an archive trap does. Well, I feel like this is going to get fatal pushed. Yeah, it's been a minute. A lot of stuff going on between the holidays and my vacation from content creation, and then I got sick. So, clean the dust on Lightning Bolt. Okay. Well, thanks. It's not going to be anywhere near what it was before, though. For starters, I'm playing too much World of Warcraft, so I won't be able to do the kind of amount of Magic content. Alright, so our opponent is out of cards. Problem is, we're just going to die to mill out, so, you know. Can we safely scoop at this point? I think we can safely scoop at this point. So, what do we want? We probably want the Kolaghan's commands. EE isn't terrible. Boil could certainly be a thing-ish. Who would Pithing Needle stop? Pithing Needle would stop... not much. How many answers to their creatures are too many answers? Because EE can also answer Orb, which is important. I think that, So I think the biggest problem in this matchup is our closing speed, and anything that allows us to close the game outside of Kalitas, I think we need in the deck. And the problem with Thoughtseize, as you saw there, unless they draw can't keep a one-lander. This hand's alright. It kind of sucks in the face of an Archive Trap, but then again, most of our hands suck in the face of our Archive Trap. Probably pitch... Is it crazy to pitch push here? Bone Crusher Giant answers Hedron Crab, but not Rune Crab. Might actually be Liliana. No. Let's gamble and pitch push. It was alright, War Dog. It's been a mixed bag the last couple of months. Between kind of debating, kind of getting frustrated with content creation there for a while. Alright, I'm just gonna jam. If they have Archive Trap, they have Archive Trap. It's kind of whatever here. We're not beating it anyway, so they clearly don't have it. It's gonna do it now. Fetch a swamp. Pass turn, hold up stomp here. The holiday season was, like I said, a mixed bag. A good bit of the family got sick after Christmas. Yeah, there's just a lot of stuff, a lot of little stuff going on. It's just like... Okay, they didn't drown that. That's interesting. Okay, what kind of hand did they keep? Are we supposed to establish Liliana here, or are we supposed to establish Pyro? I feel like Lily's just going to get countered, but... I think the same thing would happen to Spyro, so... Oh, ironically, I started the year sick. So, yes and no. That's why I've been off work for almost a week plus now. Please don't have another drown in the lock. I mean, Christmas was awesome, don't get me wrong. I still work for Walmart right now. I spent a good bit of last year trying to make this a job almost, and I really put too much pressure on it, so I wasn't maybe pushing as hard as I could to get a job in the accounting field. Plus, with coronavirus going around, it's been kind of difficult to find a lot of accounting positions for someone without experience. Like, I have a few positions that I've applied for recently. I guess we put that on top. It's probably just going to get milled, though. Or they can just touch it away. I just don't know in this matchup who's the beatdown supposed to be. I feel like I'm supposed to be, because I feel like they have the inevitability. So it feels like they boarded correctly, but it is interesting. I wish Ghost or somebody was here. Well, the problem I have with accounting, and sounds really stupid for a degree that I got a master's in, is I found as I got into accounting, I like the business side, but the accounting side can be a little bit tedious. I found that I like getting into investing. I like getting into like certain parts of business development, but there are other things that I just don't like in regards to accounting, and a lot of it is... You gonna put Luris in their hand? Interesting. We actually needed the fetch land there just because we needed a way to trigger Revolt for Luris. What on earth is this? Oh dear. Well, all that and we didn't even hit a Croxa? Jeez. Yeah, that's kind of blood boiling. Said I think the long game favored them, and I appear to be correct. Oh, there's a Blood Moon that does like nothing. Oh, we had hit a Croxa. Okie dokie. I don't even know that we can actually afford the Blood Moon with that Luris in their hand. Still don't think I play that land out in case we like somehow hit a Magmac Channeler or something. Yep. Opponent knows they can't afford to. I don't know that our clock is fast enough, but it would be funny if we won here. Do have a bolt left in our deck to draw to. So what do you do, Ken Seiden? I think for game number 3, we might be much more inclined to bring in Boils. And I might also bring in Kalidas, as dumb as that sounds. If there is a game 3, obviously. Our opponent's playing awful slow for a game they either have in the bag or have nothing, and it really doesn't matter what their play lines are. Like, I guess the only card here that would make a difference in the clock for them, as far as our side, would be Crypt Incursion, which if they have that, I don't understand why they would exile with Soul Guide Lantern. That almost kind of tells me that they don't have Crypt Incursion. They could obviously have Cling to Dust, but I don't think that's going to change the clock. So with them to 5, put them to 3, play a 4/3. They could have Ether Gust, maybe. But our opponent definitely has slowed down. Weird time divisions, just saying. Obviously, this opens us up to getting... Oh, good lord. Opponent has drawn enough visions of Beyond. If they didn't find a way to mill us out with that many card draws, like... Okay. That was exciting. I understand playing cautious when you're ahead, but stuff like that's just, like, aggravating. Like, oh, I'm just going to draw 7 and then untap and kill you. But take 10 minutes to do it. Okay. Maybe it's just the burn player in me. I don't know. It just really aggravates me when an opponent takes like 8 or 9 minutes over one turn cycle and they're not playing a particularly complicated deck. You know, we're not talking an Amulet Titan turn or a Storm turn or, you know, something along those lines. We're talking about mill as the control deck. Oh, I'm gonna mill you for 20 some cards the last turn after I just drew 7. Meh. You know. Yeah, that also, like, supremely annoys me, especially in leagues. It's like, yeah, this hand's a keep. Like, I respect people that want to multi-queue to a certain degree, but it's really uninteresting to play against. Well, not even be aggressive, War Dog. Just be considerate. I mean, we're all here spending our time to play Magic. You know, if you're that bored that you're multi-queuing, like, outside of, like, playing big events, which there really isn't too many on a Friday night, you know, I just don't see a point of multi-queuing. It really dilutes your ability to play. Oh, it doesn't get under my skin. It's really boring from a content creation perspective. You know, that's why oh, crap. Well, nothing good ever comes out of this. So, it's like our league just took a turn for the weird. So, colorless Eldrazi? Well, a version of it, anyway. Looks like it's Eldrazi Tron with a, So we really want to be aggressive with mulling the Blood Moon. But even then with Gemstone Caverns, that's not a guarantee either. Why? Did our opponent just goof? I feel like our opponent just goofed. Like, I feel like you want to continue hitting your land drops. even if you're not sure what you're fetching for yet, I feel like you want to be... Oh, okay. So they're blue Tron. Never mind. But I still feel like you want to be hitting your land drops. Okay, whatever. That's actually a tough one. Both those cards are very interesting. This at least allows us to double spell. Well, the thing with red-black, though, like one of the things that's held Rakdos back as a mid-range deck is the fact that it really lacked 2-power creatures, or 2-drop creatures like a Tarmogoyf or something, and Dark Confidant just isn't good enough in Modern anymore. Or not consistent enough, I should say. And yeah, it's a little bit slow to get going, don't get me wrong. But you're playing... you're playing a deck that's trying to go long. So, I mean, there was the one game where we just kind of cleaned house with blue-white spirits by literally... pitch Shark Typhoon and Repeal. Opponent has Remand, Spatial Contortion, and Karn. Indeed, that is exactly the reason it's doing well. Speaking of the devil, probably should have actually activated Channeler first. This is definitely eating a remand if I've ever seen one. They're really being patient with that expedition map. But yeah, it's definitely a reason, Blood Moon's the reason the deck exists. Alright, Karn's mildly annoying here. Wormcoil Engine? Seems like the grab. But I actually hope they grab Pithing Needle. 2, 3, 4, 5. What you got over there, friend? Oblivion Stone. Well, I mean, that's certainly a magic card. Problem is, Oblivion Stone basically means we lose the game. Because they play Oblivion Stone, crack their map. Don't think we're winning this game, unfortunately. Yeah, it indicates that traditional mid-range is very poorly positioned in the meta, and it had to play something desperate to do well. What is our opponent playing here? Another Karn. Don't really like this play from our opponent. So yeah, I agree. There's a fundamental flaw in the format when you have to play Blood Moon to play a mid-range deck. But it's the same reason Gruul was doing well for a time. Is Blood Moon just attacks a certain part of the meta, and your removal and grind can answer a large other portion of the meta, and your discard answers a large other portion of the meta. So why wouldn't you play a card that basically says... Don't really want either one of those cards, honestly. I think we're in good shape regardless. I'm going to say now our opponent can just play and pop. I mean, I can play Blood Moon, but at this point they can just play whatever they've drawn, so Blood Moon's kind of pointless. Like, we need to draw probably... Okay, that just seems incorrect. That seems incorrect. Like, that's the first move our opponent's made, and I'm just sitting there going, huh? It's target of a spell. Alright. I don't even know why they're afraid of Blood Moon at this point. Like, Karn could literally remove Blood Moon. So I suspect they put Worm Coil Engine back on top, right? Or would they have enough to O-Stone? I guess Ownstone would insulate them. Nope, they're going to put Worm Coil back on top. Alright. Now it all comes down to what do they do with this Karn. Yep. Yeah. Some consideration for engineered explosives. Probably want Kulligan's Command. Probably want Dreadbore. We might want Boils. Pithing Needle seems like it could be interesting. Fatal Pushes just seem completely unnecessary. Literally the only thing these answer is Chalice. And I'm wondering... It's way too many 3-drops. I mean, that's a lot of discard spells. The problem is we don't have anything proactive in this hand. I still think we keep it. I actually probably should have thought Seize there just because of Expedition Map. Ballista, Karn, Ugin. They rip a Chalice? Or is this just Ballista? I know there's an Awkward Season Pyro. Balance Command's a good card, but I think it's just necessary to pitch this. Remand? Yep. And I think the big problem here is our clock's just so slow. Condescend. Keeping at least one card in our hand for Channeler. But we do have to draw it sometime soon for it to be meaningful. Please proceed. I think this is the first time I can safely say we've floated out with this deck. Well, let's see what the bad news is. Karn the Great Creator and Field Rune. So we're probably going to be staring down a Wormcoil Engine next turn. Or something worse. Because we know they have a Wormcoil on their sideboard. Yep. So they have access to 9 mana. So they can't quite Mindslaver us here. All right. Well, I mean, so far we've had the perfect rock league. We've played 2 creature decks and smoked them, and we've played 2 other style decks and got smoked right back, so... Like, that is one of the things with a rock-esque strategy, is you're just... Some matchups you're good against, other matchups you're kind of... But yeah, as far as the Magmac Chainlord debate, the problem with Rock, even some of the other lists that pop up, is, you know, the severe lack of like powerful 2-drops is just a problem. This hand has no lands. Oh, we're up against Skull Clamp. Alright, interesting. Pretty much, War Dog, pretty much. So we put back a Bone Crusher Giant. I have no idea what Skull Clamp's been on lately, so I guess we'll see. Hammer time? It looks like a hammer time. Could be wrong, though. Nope, he is on Pox. Feel like I'm going to get lingering sold here. Liliana. Alright, that's unfortunate. Guess I'm pitching Blackleaf Cliffs here. Womp, womp, womp. I think we're going to lose to this Bitter Blossom. Oh, and they have Bloodcast. Wonderful. So he is on Pox. I don't even know how to... what a rock league, right? B2 creature decks start feeling good about the deck and then run into 3 massacres. I'm not saying we can't win this matchup, but I think we're a dog in this matchup. Between the Lingering Souls and the Bitter Blossoms, I think we're definitely a dog. That was dumb on my part. I should have just killed this main phase instead of being cute. I don't even think Jund is well positioned against Pox, honestly. Like, I mean, why would you, I was going to say, why would you play your land and then... Alright, so we definitely want engineered explosives. I only want Dreadbore. Fatal Pushes can probably all go out. Spell Bombs or Soul Guides for Lingering Souls, maybe? Could consider bringing in Needles for Liliana. Although, yes, we have our own. Yes, Liliana is pretty terrible in this matchup. So we probably bring in the Needles then, and maybe the Spell Bombs. Not sure which is better, Spell Bomb or Soul Guide. It's actually kind of a catch-22 there. Okay, commands, kind of whatever. Yeah, I suppose John would be better, but at the same time, the only reason we were in that game was because of Blood Moons, so kind of eh. Because I think if they would have been able to just deploy their spells, we would have been in severe trouble anyway. Souls, and Blood Chief's Thirst. Well, I guess we take Blood Chief's Thirst and try to set up Magmatic Chandler. So they showed us a card we didn't know about. Still think I do Channeler here. Then next turn we might be able to pseudo get them with Kroxa. Like, see if they discard like a soul and then pop it with a spell bomb. Is there any of these cards we don't want, actually? I think I can... Nope. I'm hoping he gets careless here and discards the souls and then just plays the souls. Discard Shambling Vent. Oh, he had to play Marsh Flat because of Blood Moon. I was like, why didn't he play Marsh Flats? Oh, because he wants to play around Blood Moon. Well, that's one way to fight through that many lingering souls. Problem is they have Castle Locthwain. Okay, sure. Not sure I really like the Fulminator playing against the Blood Moon deck, but, you know, decisions, I guess. Block and sack. Block and sack. That's what makes the world go round. want to be mindful of my life total here, so could have pitched Pithing Needle here, but I'm not sure I want to give away the information because I think we're going to win this game. A little bit of information on the way out. All right. Don't think we want to go too far on the graveyard hate. Well, if we had more than one land, this hand would probably be keepable. Do we risk the one-lander with double discard spell? Oh. Because this hand has, like, everything we want if we rip land, including a red source. Screw it. We'll go for it. Especially with our opponent already mulliganing. Sure. Yep, can't be Blood Moon. Well, I mean, we hit our second land drop. Really need a red source at some point here. Fatal Push and Bitter Blossom. Well, Fatal Push I don't really care about. Bitter Blossom, can't beat that card, so. If they play a land, gets a blood gas back. Yep. All right. Wow. Cute answer to Blood Moon. They just get to get it back, but that's fine. Should have attacked first. Okay. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. So I think my biggest critique of this deck would be 22 lands feels like not quite enough. And oh my goodness, that's a lot of 3-drops. As far as what cards I'd cut, I don't know. I think the 23rd land, I'd probably add a Castle Locthwain. But as far as what I'd cut, I honestly don't know. Maybe a Liliana, maybe a Blood Moon. Like, I know Blood Moon's like one of the main reasons to play this, and we do have a lot of ways to like leverage discarding it with Magmag Channeler and Liliana and Pyro. I don't know. Rest of the deck, you know, it's your usual rock stuff. You know, we went 3-2. Can't really complain there. Deck was a lot of fun. You know, but once again, kind of suffers from the traditional rock thing. You know, you get paired against creature decks, you're probably going to own them. Get paired against other mid-range decks, it's kind of a crapshoot. Get paired against decks that go bigger than you, you're in some trouble. You know, I mean, we beat Zoo and Spirits. We squeaked out a win against Smallpox. We lost to blue Tron and mill, you know. Oh, I know it's supposed to be. I'm not, like, doubting that. It's just kind of, you know, there are better things to be doing in the format. Even in these colors, red, black, shadow is probably better because it's more aggressive. But I can understand the draw to this deck. It's very powerful. And, you know, it's kind of the current model of Jund decks, so gotta be aware of it. Anywho, thanks everybody for tuning in to tonight's impromptu stream. This will be up on YouTube in a day or two. I got some other video work to get done sometime in the next couple days before I go back to work. I want to thank everybody for hanging out. I'm going to get back into streaming a little bit more consistently, but it's not going to be... well, Red Black Prowess is Red Black Shadow now. They're pretty much the same deck. But... alright, we'll do, Ken Siden. Thanks everybody for hanging out tonight. For those of you catching this on YouTube later, thank you very much. Please consider subscribing to the channel. And I will see you in the next video, or hopefully on the next stream. See if there's anybody to raid. Alright, let's raid Fluffy, I guess.